so I am back, sort of. I just wanted to do a quick video about things that are going on and why there has been a decrease in video activity. I know, like this last week, there was no new videos, and there hasn't been a rant of the week for a while, but there were reviews going up, and that's because I had pre-recorded those reviews a while back, weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks in advance. So I wanted to address that, what's been going on there, but before we get into that, let me just kind of catch up on a few things, things that I wanted to do videos for, but just haven't had a chance. I haven't had a chance to do it yet. I got Skull Cruncher in, Fansoy Skull Cruncher. He's quickly in short running for Figure of the Year for me so far. I absolutely love this figure. He's really good. So there's that. Eventually I'll get a review out. I also got the Astro Train. I got the Mafex, Black Superman. Got a number of other figures too that I want to look at. I just haven't had a chance to. So that's that. I got some of the Legends Superion. I got 3 out of the 5 there. The other 2 are in pre-order. Eventually I'll get them. So yeah, we got that stuff coming eventually. I don't know when. I'm not going to try and give you a timetable. So there will be reviews in the near future. I just don't know when. Let's see what else. Super 7. I ended up making a decision on Super 7. I had worked out this big display spot for the Super 7 figures, and they don't display well. Not the way I wanted them to, so I ended up giving them all to my brother. So I'm out on the Super 7 game for now. You know, if they make a PandaCon, I might still pick one up. But I completed the Turtles for him. I completed the I got the Shredder and the Bebop, so he's got the full set. He's gotten them a good home. They just didn't fit the display space that I had for them. Probably, like, as much as I love them and as nostalgic as I feel about them, they really do have that feel of the late 80s, early 90s toys, because that's what the design is going for, and it just doesn't sit well with most of my other collections. So that's what's going on with Super 7. I still think they're doing some great stuff. They're kind of all over the place, though. But yeah, I'm out on that one. See what else. I wanted to do a review on the Batman. I think it's just been too long now to have a point to make the review of it. Long story short is I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I have my problems with it, primarily Catwoman. I thought she was terrible. The ending, spoilers alerts. The ending I didn't like, with the whole like extra added in fight sequence with all the extra Riddler guys and the flooding the city, and it's like I didn't like that, but I did think that we needed another fight scene with Batman. And watching it was overall pretty good. I didn't like the little adrenaline injection or venom. I think it was venom because it was glowing green. That he injected himself with at the end there. I thought that was a little strange. But anyway, not a big deal. Not. Ultimately, I didn't like him as Bruce Wayne, but all you got was really moody Bruce Wayne. You didn't really see Bruce Wayne in it. one thing I will say I really enjoyed about it is about halfway through the movie, I stopped thinking of this as an actor playing Batman, and it just felt like I was just watching Batman doing stuff. Even in The Dark Knight, for the most part, Christian Bale does a good job. It's always like, oh, this is just Christian Bale being Batman. Unlike Heath Ledger's Joker, where I was like, man, this is the Joker. They actually got the Joker and put him on the screen and let him do shit. So it's like, that's a good feeling. And then everyone went crazy on that deleted scene with the this world's Joker. And I just was like, okay, I guess. I mean, whatever. He was fine, I guess. I don't know. He wasn't like, oh my god, this is the most definitive. You don't get to see him do enough for it to really be the definitive Joker for me. So for me, it's like, whatever. They took it out of the movie for a reason. But the scene that they left in there was awful. So it has its ups and downs. Ultimately, I'm gonna say it's like. For me, it's like Captain America, the First Avenger, and Man of Steel, where those movies alone are pretty decent. But it really will depend on the movie that follows on whether or not it's great. Captain America was followed by The Avengers, which was a great movie, which makes Captain America good. It's a solid, good movie. Man of Steel was followed by Batman v Superman, which I think is the funniest video of the funniest movie of the year. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, moving on. Not going to focus too much on that. I also wanted to do a video every day of the Moon Knight series as it was coming out, because as you guys probably know, he's my favorite hero. I have a lot of stakes in this show because he is my favorite hero. I was, come on, please. I mean, in case you're wondering, yes, my favorite hero. The thing is, with it is, so far, for me, and I know a lot of people have torn apart, and I can't argue with what they don't like about the show. But so far for me, it might be the best show I've seen. I might be a little biased on this one, but I'm only right now. It's 3 episodes in, and I think it's like the rest of the Disney Plus shows. The worst thing that they've done is make it episodic. This should have been just a fucking movie. It should have just been a movie. Like how Black Widow was. Let's just make this a movie. You could charge a couple bucks for it or whatever. Make it like a direct to Disney Plus movie rather than a show, because it's 6 episodes. They're supposedly an hour long, but really it's like, you take out the beginning credits, the previously, and then the end credits, and it crams down to maybe 40 minutes. So it would have been what? So 4 hours long, maybe, just do a long direct to TV movie. I mean, that's the thing that I think is hurting it the most. But other than that, I'm absolutely loving it. It's just amazing for me. It's great. I think it's funny that all these people are like, oh yeah, Moon Knight, and it's like Moon Knight's the talk of the town. It's like Moon Knight's been talk of my town since late 90s, I think. It really, really got into it with the Volume 4, which I think was 2004. So it's like, I've been a fan of Moon Knight way before a lot of other people. So it's like, and at one point I had every single one of his individual comic releases. I don't now because of all the newer stuff, and I'm not liking how they're rebooting the titles all the time and changing his character so much. But I mean, overall, I've like rewriting the character entirely. It's been, yeah. But anyway, I like how this show is kind of condensing his story and telling it more in a cohesive. And I know that's hard to say for people that haven't read all the comics, but it's more of a cohesive story than what we got in the comics, because every time there was like a new writer or a new book, his character changed so drastically. And, even to one point where he thought he was Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Captain America all at once. And even Bullseye for a second there. And it wasn't I didn't like that story at all. I hated that. And I hate how he joins back into the Avengers after he quit, and everyone said you will never be an Avenger again. So he gets drafted into the Avengers, and first mission he gets knocked out, and he's out for the rest of the book. It's like, oh, cool. Glad they canceled his individual title for this. He goes from making Deadpool beg for mercy to cannon fodder number 7. But yeah, the books have been all over the place, and it's nice to have a story where it's like, okay, this is what we're going with this story, and we're going to just tell it in one cohesive story. Real quick, I also want to throw out my theory. So if you guys don't want to hear a Moon Knight theory, you kind of skip a couple minutes ahead. I don't know how to do timestamp, so I can't do that. But anyway, my theory, because his number one nemesis in the show, in the comic books, was always Bushman. My theory in the show is that Bushman is one of his personalities. Think about that for a minute. And alright, so wave my hands. Okay, we're good to go. Alright, so if you guys didn't want a spoiler. Alright, now, on to what's going on with me real quick so that you guys know what's happening and why there's a downturn in videos. So, as you guys know, I manage a hotel. And as the manager, I'm second command of this multi-million-dollar property. So it's like it falls on me to make sure it runs smoothly. So we had a front desk person quit. It was something that was expected. So it wasn't like, oh my God, they didn't walk out. They had put in their notice. They fulfilled their notice. And that was the end of it. Like, allergies are bad too. Alright, so we had a front desk agent quit. Oh, backtrack just a tad. We're in the middle of a massive remodel at the property. Owner's putting in probably about $1 million or so into renovations. So we've got a lot of shit going on. Alright, so now lots of chaos going on in the building. So, front desk agent quits. Alright. Okay, so things are tight. Construction crew for the job walks off the job one day. They demanded an extra $50,000 to finish the project, even though they signed a contract for this amount of money, and then the owner even gave them another $20,000 the week prior. And then they came back, oh yeah, we want $50,000. He said, no, you've got to finish the job. And then they walked off. So then we had to find a new construction company, 3/4 of the way through a project. Pretty crazy. Anyway, so there's that going on. It's like, fuck, it's getting a little hectic here. Spring break hits. So now we're slammed. We're super busy. We're understaffed. Things are kind of going going a little sideways here. It's like, okay, we'll make it through. All right, it's getting a little dicey here, but we'll make it through. So one day we were short on housekeepers because nobody came in because of a snowstorm, which sucks. It's like big snowstorm and nobody wants to drive in it. I get it. But because nobody wants to drive in it, we get filled up and then nobody wants to come to work the next day. So we're just scrambling trying to get rooms ready. The general manager, my boss, was helping with laundry, and she's like, well, we've got cases of towels, brand new towels, in the basement, so we don't have to worry about doing so much laundry if we just run down there, grab a couple cases, bring them up, and we'll just fold them and put them in the rooms, so we don't have to wait for washers and dryers. So she runs down in the basement with the maintenance guys, steps on the pallet wrong, and shatters her ankle. That was early March. And that was probably around the last time I've had a day off. So she's incapacitated. She went through surgery. She's still out for another at least 2 to 3 weeks, is my guess. But that sucks for her. I wish her all the best. She's a great person. So I complain about her every now and then, but it's like, I wouldn't work for somebody for 18 years if she wasn't a good person and good to work for. Not just with, but to work for. Anyway, so there's that. All right. Well, that sucks. She's out. So I'm kind of filling in the front desk and also filling in for the general manager. A job that I'm more than capable to do. I know I'm not the best yet, because it's one of those things you got to grow into. And I'm learning quite a bit with this. So that part is nice. But the problem is that I have my own front desk shifts to cover. I'm also covering for the missing front desk agent we have, and now I'm covering for the general manager. So now I'm stretched very thin. The next day, half our housekeeping staff quits. So I'm like, fuck me. Just fuck me. So now I have nobody. I have no help. We are hurting bad. This sucks so much. My days have been work, sleep, work, sleep, work, sleep. It's been non-stop work, which I don't mind doing. It's part of the job. It's not very often where you end up working 70, 80 hours a week, but it happens. Unfortunately, it does happen in this industry. With a lot of industries. When you're the only one left standing, it's either you keep going or you quit. And I'm not a quitter. I will not quit this job after 18 years of dedication. In the end, I know they're going to take care of me and give me something for all my hard work. But in the meantime, I'm just going to keep working away. Bust my ass everywhere I get. And, the owner's there. He's like, he can't help with a lot of things, just because he doesn't know a lot about, like the day-to-day stuff. But, he's in there. He's folding towels. He's helping maintenance. He's taking trash out. He's outside picking up trash. He's doing everything he can to help us. We're starting people at housekeepers at $18 an hour. Industry standards in our area is about $14.50, and we're starting about $18, and we're starting front desk between $18 and $20 an hour. So it's like we're throwing money at this, but it ain't helping because the whole world is in that weird bubble of nobody wants to go back to work. And when they do, they don't want to travel very far because of the freaking gas prices. I don't blame them. You know, and I don't blame people who didn't want to work through COVID. You know, if I didn't have to, I wouldn't have. But I did. I worked the whole time. I didn't, you know, it's just, that was just part of the gig, like I said. So anyway, so that's what's going on in my world. So that's why I haven't been able to get new videos up. That's why I haven't been able to get time to really mess with figures. You know, it's like the Skull Cruncher, for example. That's a good example. It might end up being the worst figure I've ever played with because I haven't fully transformed him yet. I fiddled with him. I've messed with him. I just love the way he looks. I love the way he moves. You know, he's one of the more solid Fans Toys things I've gotten in a while, and I really am enjoying it. But I haven't transformed the thing. I haven't turned him into a crocodile because I haven't had time to mess with it that long. So it's just been one of those months. It's been over a month now where I've just been working, and it's just been, and it's weird because it's like normally we're kind of slow this time of year. You know, we got the spring break. That's mid to late March where we're just like, all right, here we go. You know, we're kicking it in high gear for a month. It's like, this is great, but like yesterday I had 20 walk-ins. That's just insane. I mean, I know you guys we may not understand what I'm talking about there, but average walk-ins for a hotel is 4 to 5. Typically, of this size in this area, it's 4 to 5 walk-ins. 4 to 5 people coming off the street saying, hey, I need a room. 20? Whew. You know, it's just like, wow, okay, where are you people coming from? And if nobody's working, where are you getting the money? You know? It's just weird. But anyway, enough about, you know, pseudo-politics. So I just wanted to fill you guys in what's going on so that you're not sitting there like, oh, he's gone or something happened. I'm still here, still planning on doing videos. I just don't have the time. You know, sometimes life gets in the way of hobbies. And this is a perfect case of life just getting in the way. You know, I've got to do what I've got to do to keep my job floating. It's not just my paycheck that's at stake here. And I'm not sitting here trying to toot my own horn, but if I were not there, like if I were to quit right now, this hotel would it would fall apart. Mostly because there's nobody to work. You know, it's like there would be nobody there to check people in, nobody there to check people out. It just would be deserted. I don't know what they would have to do to fix it because there's no amount of money that we've paid hiring companies to find us people and they still can't. We're contracting housekeepers and they still can't find people. So it's just insane. So yeah. Anyway, so that's what's going on. I'm still around. I still will do videos. I just can't at the moment. And eventually we'll get back to everything. Just not today. I was amazed that actually was like, man, it's a Friday night. That's when I'm recording this. And I actually have a couple hours of downtime. So I'm going to do this video real quick and then I'm going to probably go to bed early because it's been a long day. I worked 33 hours in the past 2 days. So do the math. It's like it's been crazy. Anyway, hopefully we'll get back to videos as soon as possible. I will just go from there.